We've done our research to bring you all the information you need to know about 4-person tents to make your purchasing decision simpler. You can also check out our top 4-person tents for some recommendations. So in this video we will discuss 5 best 4-person tents under $100. Don't worry, you will not face any hassle to find the product links. I will include the product links in the description. Number 1. Coleman Sundome Camping Tent. As mentioned briefly at the beginning of this article, the first tent I recommended to my in-law was the Coleman Dark Room Tent, also known as the 4-person Sundome tent. It's not the most expensive tent on this list, but it still has plenty to offer. If summertime is your season of choice for camping, you won't find a better tent for camping in hot weather if you ask me. This is because of the dark room technology by Coleman. The reason this is such a good tent for summer is because it blocks out 90% of the sun's UV rays and keeps the inside of the tent much cooler. As much as 10% cooler inside the Sundome compared to other dome tents after being out in the sun all day long. 10% may not sound like much, but when the tents have been building up heat all day long, reducing the inside temperature by 10% is a godsend. I also like this dark room tent because I'm a bit of a night owl and I like to sleep in longer in the morning. But when you typically go camping, the sun is so bright you get woken up at the crack of dawn. But with the Sundome, the walls are darkened so that you can enjoy the dark for longer, while the sun-blocking technology is keeping the tent cooler in the mornings too. This is especially helpful if you have a youngster that still takes daytime naps. The tent is very waterproof and also resistant to moderately strong winds. Number 2. LENCE Camping Tent. The tents are about as reliable as you get in this price bracket. The problems they have are the same problems all the other tents have at this price range: cheap zippers, cheap stakes, thin floor, tight fit. The amount of space seems to be the biggest issue users have with this range. Personally, I wonder if the folks who buy this aren't used to how space is rated in tents. They're always smaller than the marketing literature boasts. But it's definitely something to be aware of. All of the sizes will fit a queen mattress. But if you're worried about space, go a size up. On the weight front, they aren't the lightest, but they are impressively light for the price. You wouldn't want to carry one for a whole day, but it would be perfectly reasonable to haul it a few miles up a trail, which you can't really do with a lot of similarly priced tents. Great tents for the backyard and for festivals, but with the added bonus that they are also suitable for more involved summer camping trips. The fact you can fit them in a backpack is a huge plus. Number 3. Toogh 3 to 4-person camping tent. This is one of those instant, pop-up tents, so it's super easy to set up. And it's also easy to break down, which isn't always the case when it comes to pop-ups. It's big enough to easily fit 2 adults, and you could even squeeze in a child as well. And if you want to use a queen mattress, there's room left over for gear. This is a fair weather tent in my opinion. It doesn't have the best weather protection. If you think conditions are likely to be dicey, you may not have the most comfortable night. If you are just looking for a cheap tent to use a handful of times during the summer or at festivals or basic tent camping in the backyard, it's a really good choice. It's very good value and easy to work with. I just wouldn't recommend it for use in heavy wind or rain. Number 4. Amazon Basics Outdoor Camping Tent. This is the largest tent we looked at. With a 15 by 9 foot floor space and a 6 foot roof, you should have no concerns about space even if you've got a large family. As an additional bonus, this tent also offers ample storage space, with various vestibules and a lantern hook inside the tent so your gear doesn't have to occupy the whole floor. It all packs up into a really neat bag so it doesn't take up a lot of room when transporting it. And it's pretty easy to set up and take down. The poles aren't great in strong winds. They're quite brittle and may snap if put under too much pressure. Basically, if you're expecting the weather to be quite extreme, you might want to think about upgrading to something a bit more sturdy. At the very least, invest in some better tent stakes. Finally, the ventilation is a bit of an all-or-nothing scenario. Without the rain fly, the ventilation is actually fairly good. However, once you get the rain to fly on, things can get quite stuffy and humid. If you want a large tent for fair weather camping and want to spend less than $100, this will work for you. I can see larger families really enjoying this. And, although you probably won't get 8 adults in comfortably, it's a great option as a festival tent. Number 5. Coleman Instant Cabin 4-Person Tent. The Coleman Instant Tent is advertised as being able to be set up in a minute. I'd bet that it takes a bit longer than that if you don't have practice setting it up all the time. The Coleman Instant Tent also features double-walled fabric, so that should help with the durability of the tent over time. It also features a tub-like a floor surface that runs up the walls of the tent a few inches like the other Coleman tent reviewed. It's not a very tall tent for a cabin-style tent with a center height of 4 feet 11 inches. It also features Coleman's darkroom technology, which means that it should do a good job of blocking out the sunlight if you are trying to sleep in on your camping trip. I really like the darkroom technology feature and think that it also helps out with keeping the tent cooler by keeping excess sunlight out of the tent. If you enjoyed this video, then like this video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.